everybody, this is Bonnie from Bonnie's Creative Place .stampinup.net, and I'm coming with you with card number 3 for my Forever Fern class that we are doing here in September. If you're here because you joined my class, welcome. Thank you for supporting me. And if you're here watching this in October, on my YouTube page and would like to know how to join any of my online classes, just look in the description box below and you'll find my Facebook page there. If you click on my Facebook page, it'll take you over there, and if you go into the notes section, it tells you how my online classes work. If you need to, there's also my email address in the description box below, and you can email me any information that you would like to know how to join my online class. What we did was we had to order the bundle of the Forever Fern, and then there were some extras that I'm using that you may or may not have had that you may have wanted. So if you wanted to order that, you could. But let's get started. And isn't this card absolutely beautiful? I don't know if you are picking up the little bit of Wink of Stella. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not very good, but it's there and it's beautiful. So let's get started on how I made this card. So in your kit, you're going to get the following. You're going to get some pearls that we're going to need for our card. You're going to get 3 vellums. I probably will give you more, but I only needed 3 for this card, so I'll give you a little extra just in case you lose one or something. But you'll get some vellum butterflies. You'll get a scrap piece of crystal coral. You'll get some scrap Sarah sand, and you'll also get some scrap Whisper white. Then you are going to get a base card that is going to be 8.5 by 5.5, and it is scored at 4 1/4 in the middle, and that is going to be in crystal coral. Then you're going to get another piece of Whisper white that is going to be 5 1/4 by 4. Then you will get another piece of Whisper white that is going to be 3 by 4, or 3 by 4.5. Then you will get a piece of crystal coral that is 4.5 by 1.5, and another piece of Whisper white that is 4 by 4 1/4. So with that, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get out our crystal coral dark blend pen, and that is light, so I want to get out the dark one, and we are going to color our vellum. So I'm just going to color this in, and I'm going to let it dry. And it looks a little darker on here than it does on the card, and once it absorbs, it'll be a little lighter also. So while that is doing that, I'm going to set this aside to let them dry up really good. So they're going to be drying there. I'll just set the card right here. So now we're going to start with our first piece of Whisper white. So with the first piece of Whisper white, we need to bring in a piece of our scrap paper again. So we're going to bring this in. We need our Sierra sand. And we need this stamp set, this stamp, the glare isn't out of the stamp kit. We're going to take and we're going to stamp up the color, the flower leaf, and we're just going to keep stamping all around this card in every different direction. It does not matter. You could turn it around, turn it upside down. Whatever works. I'm just trying to get the whole edge of the card. Trying to get as much of it as we can. And this color does lighten up after you have, after it's dried. So now we got that done. We're going to set that aside for a minute. We're going to take a Sierra sand sponge, and you're just going to, or whatever sponging device you use, and we're just going to sponge around the outside of this. So there we go. So we have that all on the outside. All right. And now we'll let this sit off to the side for a minute. Now we're going to bring in our other piece of Whisper White here, and we're going to do some embossing. Now these embossing folders, if you didn't order them with this bundle, then you probably had them with your bird bundle or a couple of the other bundles that we've done in the past. So for this one, you're going to need this little flowery one, and these are the greenery embossing folders. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put this in, and I'm putting it kind of all the way up towards the top and over towards the corner a little bit, because I want more of this flower in it than anything up here in this corner, because you're not going to see this down here. And then we're going to close it up so it's just like that. We're going to bring in the embossing die and cut machine. I'll open this up, and oh, look at that. I don't know if that camera is picking that up, but I'll tell you, it is gorgeous. Okay, so we'll set that aside. Now we're going to do some die cutting. And for die cutting, we need to use plate 1, plate 2, plate 3, and then get our scrap. And we're going to use this die right here. So we're going to put that down. And then we need plate 3 on top. So we're going to crank that through. Okay. And we will set this off to the side. Get this off from here. I have well used my die cutting thing. I need to order more. Then we're going to use the Sierra sand, and we're going to use this die. And we're going to put that on here. And I'm going to run this through. And this one came out so nice also. They came out embossed. It's hard to pick it up on the screen, but I'll tell you, they come out very nice. Now we're going to set this aside for a minute, and we're going to do some stamping, and then we're going to get it right back out again. Alright, so we're going to bring in this die here. We're going to take some Sierra sand, and we're going to use this stamp. We're going to stamp it right up. So we're going to get one right there. And then we're going to bring in the Crystal Coral, and we're going to use this stamp. And we're going to stamp this one right here. And I just saw another thing I used that I did not get out that I'll need. We grabbed this stamp or die. You need this die, and we're going to do it out of the scrap Crystal Coral. So we're going to bring back in the die cutting machine. Alrighty, so now we're going to bring in, let's finish up our stamping before we put the card together. So now we're going to bring in this little greeting piece, and we're going to put this right here, and I've got the Love and Laughter Forever After. If you have different greetings from different stamps, go ahead and use them. This would be a great a birthday card or anniversary card. So, and I'm stamping this up in the Crystal Coral. And I am just putting it off to the left a little. I hope I got it straight because I was a little far away. Very good. Okay. So there. So we got that all done. Okay, and we can put that away. Now let's put this card together. Alrighty. Before we do anything with the card, we are going to, I like to score to keep this flat so it's easier to work with. So I scored this side. Now we can attach this piece down. Okay. There we go. Then we are going to take the Sierra Sand again. Oh, I just put my fingers in it. And we're going to use the sponge, and we're going to sponge around the outside of this one. These sponges are sold in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. If you would like to order any of them, you get like 3 sponges, and you cut them into quarters. You get 6 out of each sponge. Now I have one for every ink I have, but I use them for my classes and stuff, so they're getting multiple uses. But if you had them, you could keep one for like maybe your lighter greens, or and then one for your darker greens, and one for your yellows and stuff like that, because they would dry and you could mix them. But you can't mix them when I'm using them over and over for classes, so that's why I have one for each one. And so now we're just going to work with this piece for a minute. So we'll set this piece off to the side. And we're going to take, and we're going to get some adhesive, and we're going to attach this one down right on the card. So now we're going to take this one, and I'm going to pop this one up on dimensionals. So I'm going to get some mini dimensionals this time. And I'm just going to grab, I'm going to put a few. You could probably use bigger dimensionals on this too, but I don't know. I just wanted several in certain spots, so I went with the minis. And I don't know why I haven't had this out. Okay. And I'm just putting this one right about here, like that. Then I've got my other one. What did I do with it? I buried it, or did I not? Oh, I don't even think I cut it out. Whoops. All right, we need Whisper White. And we need the die. Okay, we need the die. And then we need the stamp. I gotta make sure I got the right die for the right stamp. Wrong one. Okay. All right. Get a little block here. And get the Sierra sand back out. And we're using this one. And there's one that goes like kind of the left and one that goes to the right. So just make sure you have the right one for your die. There's 2 dies and there's 2. So whatever one you use, it doesn't matter. Bring this back in, and then we're going to put little dimensionals on the back of this one. Okay. All right, and then we will put this one right here. Oh, glue is making me stick. Put this right here, glue. Now before we add the little grading and put this on the card, take your Wink of Stella and add your Wink of Stella to your card. Make it glisten and glow. That's so pretty. So there we go. Why does that feel like it didn't have a whole lot of... There, this one does. There's my glitter. I didn't feel like I had a whole lot of glitter. Oh, good thing I'm going to be covering that. Me and this Wink of Stella, sometimes I get too much. Other times I get not enough. So, then before we stick this down, we're going to add this piece to this piece. Okay, just like this. Then on the top half, we're going to put a snail. But on the bottom half, because we want it to rise up, because there's going to be dimension, we're going to use dimensionals. I'm just going to happen to be using this piece right there. Okay, we'll peel that off. And we're going to stick this right across here. Kinda, you know what? I think I'll stick that after. I was going to stick it down beforehand, but then I want to make sure it's lined up. So now we're going to add a bunch of Stampin' Dimensionals, big ones, to the back of this. And then I'm going to put this right here. But before I do, I need 2 dimensionals in each corner up here because they hang off. So I hope you saw that. Before I stick that down, I'm going to put 2 dimensionals right here in each corner. And you could either put one long strip like I did there, or you could put, you know, whatever, I guess. And there we go. And that gives you your height across there. So it's just like that. All right, now we're going to add our butterflies. But before we add our butterflies, what did I do with my little ones? I lost them already. Well, I guess I'll get out some more. Because when I clean up, I'll find them. Okay. Here's some little ones. There we go. And we'll use one off from here. And what I did was I took, and before I stick these down, I'm going to get some, it's called the Sequins, the fine tip glue ink. Now I put this in here because I don't know about you, this was a great idea that Stampin' Up! Did with putting that little wire thing in there. but I can't get that wire thing back in there. It's too flimsy and stuff. A needle works easier because it's a little thicker for me. So I just transferred some over into this bottle. And then I don't have to have so many of these, because I have tons of these that are sealed just so I could reuse this. But this is not working. So I decided to go to this. So far, this seems to be working for me. That's all I did. I'm putting a little bit of glue right there. I'm going to take your pick tool, pick up the butterfly, and I'm just going to stick it down. You will have to let this sit for a little bit for it to dry, because it's not a quick dry in glue. And I'm just going to put a couple drops right here. And we'll pick up these ones. I'll put one kind of this way. And this dries clear. That's why I chose this. These do look a little darker. I may have used the lighter pen, but I like the dark ones too. So I think either way, you're going to be fine. And then make sure you seal up your stuff. And now I'm going to just take my pearls. Whoops. This side wants to stay up, so we better put a little dab of glue on that side too. If that happens, just put some on the other side. Get a little curly. And then I'm just taking the pearls. I didn't color them. I didn't do anything with them. And I'm just putting one at the tip of each of these butterflies. And you'll have a close-up, if I can flip this over, in your instructions that you got also of these pictures, so you can, you know, use one of them. Then I put one little pearl right up here, and then I took a medium size, which I have no clue where my pearls went, and I put one right there. So this is the card number 3 of our card kit. And I thank you, and I hope you enjoyed. Oh, there were my pearls. Look at that there, right there on top of my sign. My card was covering them up. Oh, always me. I told you I'd find them later. So thank you guys. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining my online class, and thank you for supporting me. I'll be back with card number 4. Bye-bye.